Well, howdy, folks. Welcome back to the Bayou. This is MTG Goodoo with Bajuka Bog Radio. And today I want to talk to you guys about the announcement that we got 2 days ago. I know it's probably well overplayed and well overdone, but I wanted to give my opinion on the subject because, oh, buddy, I've had a lot of people talking in my local friend group and, in my local playing groups that, have decided that, some of them are going to reevaluate their decks or are willing to, get to see, where their decks fall and, maybe up or down them depending on, the brackets, this new bracket system that they're talking about. And some of them are just, we'll just keep playing the way we've been playing because it's everybody understands, everybody knows, in which I can see how that is completely fine. I actually do agree that that is fine. I just think that for when you're traveling abroad, that is something you need to consider because not only will, some people will just be like, well, I'm playing a 2, it's actually a 5. And you can't help that. But for the people that are genuine and earnest, that are trying to get games in as often and be, polite to a group of strangers as they can, it's kind of hard to do that except by, following the most common thing that's out there in the wild. And right now, if the bracket system is what's going to be, I guess you can call it the standard. I guess that's something that we can all maybe abide by to try and help our other fellow players out. Maybe be able to get some more games in. But if this system is not for you guys, and this is a quote unquote system, this is a beta system that they have come out with and decided that we're gonna see how it goes, and if it goes, we're gonna keep up with it. If not, we're gonna maybe add some more cards to the banned list, or maybe take some off, move some cards over to the game changers list and whatnot, and so on and so on. But if you're looking for this article, if you haven't read it yourself, I personally, if you have the opportunity, I imply you to try and find the video on YouTube. It's on the Wizards of the Coast or Magic the Gathering YouTube channel, and it is a good listen, especially on the way to work or so on and so on, just to try and maybe if you can hear it, maybe it helps, kind of tack it in, helps it bring it home a little bit better. But without further ado, let's go on ahead and get into it. So they revealed the bracket system, and the bracket system is as follows. It's a 5-stage bracket system. Stage 1 is bracket 1 is exhibition, where it's completely casual. No land destruction or land denial cards that they said were like Blood Moon or Winter Orb, things of that nature for lands. There would be no 2-card infinite combos, so something that just Thassa's Oracle and Demonic Consultation is a no. No extra turn spells, no game changers, and very few tutors. And I'm assuming what they mean by tutors, and they actually make it very clear, and they're situational tutors. They're not, undiscriminatory tutors where you can just like, okay, demonic tutor, get whatever you want. They're more reliant upon the fact that, people can run fabricate, and it's only limited to artifacts. Yes, it's, limited to artifacts and artifact creatures or artifact lands. As far as I know, we don't have artifact enchantments and so on and so on. So that was where it's limited in its factor. So I feel like this is the most casual of casual. You're looking to just play a couple games, lock in for a few hours, hang out, play a game, and just be with the bros, be with everybody you play with. Bracket 2 is the core, and they have described this as your generic out in the wild average pre-constructed deck, and that's their words, not mine. And, you know, it's same principles as the last one, but they do not want you chaining. You can apply extra turn spells into your deck, but as soon as you start running those extra turns into like 3 or 4 or 5, that's when it starts getting a little too much. So that's what they don't want seeing in that. And like I said, no land denial, land destruction, no game changers, and few tutors. Now 3 is where they start letting you like really kind of ink into the power. For 3, they called it the upgraded bracket. This is beyond the strength of an average precon deck. So everything before this one was like an average precon. There is still no land destruction, no chaining extra turn spells, but they are allowing late game 2 card combos like Dualcaster Mage and what's it called? Like Twin Flame. Something that would just win the game. And they are allowing 3 game changer cards. Now I think this list of game changers is not perfect. This whole system is not perfect. But I feel like for the safety of all to, say, hey, this deck was built as a 3, but, if I take this one card out, it becomes a 1 or a 2. And, we actually, if you have not noticed, Architect, Moxfield, and Scryfall all have been updated as of to been of those 2 days ago. They have updated it to where you can register what cards are the game changers, what cards are keeping your decks at a certain bracket level, which is amazing. It's some I didn't even realize it, because I didn't even realize that this was information that was brought out until I went to bed and slept on this. But I feel like this isn't something to sleep on. I feel like this is actually something that if we can come together and we can actually, make this work. I feel like this would be better than the 1 through 10 scale. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm not saying it has to work, and I'm not saying it will work right now, but eventually if we come around to it, I feel like this will work. I mean, a lot of people are throwing a bunch of backlash of, oh, I'm gonna quit Magic. I don't like the way they're doing it. Well, if your playgroup's fine without it, run without it. This is just an extra tool for people that are out in the public, out in the open, out in strange places to them, that would help them meet other players a little better, meet other possible friends, people to get to know each other. So let's move on to bracket 4. Bracket 4 is the more optimized decks. Those are the ones that are ready to go a little bit more wild, almost hog wild even. And there's no restrictions except for the ban list, which is for the whole entirety of the bracket system. The ban list is still applied. They have announced in that stream, if you watched it or if you go to watch it, they say that they will announce some potential unbannings and not really any bannings. I don't think they'll be banning anything. I think they'll be more likely unbanning a bunch of cards. So I think they said in April, look around for that. So yeah, be prepared in April for a big swinging things to happen. And then we do have the fifth bracket, the CEDH bracket, which it's kind of self-explanatory. It's the mindset. You're coming in, you're playing the most optimal deck that you can, you're playing to win, and everybody is doing so. There's no king making, there's no salt, there's no on the way outs type deals going on. And even I had some questions about what these could be, but before we get into that, let's go into the list of game changers. So to start out, we have with white, we have Dranth Magistrate, Enlightened Tutor, Sarah Sanctum, Okay, I'm sorry, but this is just me, but lands don't need to be in the colors that they're in. They need to be in the colorless section because technically they are colorless, even though they produce white and they can only be played in those decks. But I digress. Uh, Smothering Tithe and Trouble in Pairs. For blue, we have Cyclonic Rift, Expropriate, Force of Will, Fierce Guardianship, Rhystic Study, Thassa's Oracle, Urza Lord High Artificer, Mystical Tutor, and Jin-Kataxis Core Augur. For black, we have Bolas' Citadel, Demonic Tutor, Imperial Seal, Opposition Agent, Tergrid, God of Fright, Vampiric Tutor, Ad Nauseum. For red, we have The Two Lonely, Jessica's Will, and Underworld Breach. For green, we have Survival of the Fittest, Vorinclex Voice of Hunger, and Gaia's Cradle. For the multicolored, we have Kennen, Bonder Prodigy, Yuriko, the Tiger Shadow, Winota, Join Our Forces, and Grand Arbiter Augustine the Fifth. Or fourth, I don't know, for Roman numerals. For colorless, we have Ancient Tomb, Chrome Mox, the One Ring. I don't know who's playing it, but the Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale, bless their heart. Trinisphere, Grim Monolith, Lion's Eye Diamond, Mox Diamond, Mana Vault, and Glacial Chasm. Let me go on and say that they have decided to do all of these, and it's gonna be a way to do it. So they have the quick, the recap and everything, and then they have all the people on the bracket on who's on the commander format panel. This is then they actually give reasons as to why certain cards or specific cards are on the game changers list. The tutors that we have: Enlightened Tutor, Mystical, Demonic, Vampiric, Imperial, Seal, Survival of the Fittest are best in class tutors and tend to find combo pieces or just homogenize the game to play out similarly. While tutors are already mentioned in the bracket structure, these six are the ones we wanted to call out specifically. Draenus the Magistrate, Opposition Agent, Transfer, Glacial Chasm, and Tabernacle Pendrell Vale. These efficiently lock out your opponent's ability to use their cards, often in frustrating ways. Chrome Mox, Grim Monolith, Mox Diamond, Mana Vault, Ancient Tomb. These are extremely powerful fast mana pieces that accelerate your game. Smothering Tithe, Trouble in Pairs, Rhystic Study, The One Ring, Jessica's Will, and Bolas' Citadel provide overwhelming resource advantage for their mana value and tend to cause a player to snowball with the game. Vorinclex is an extension of the mana denial restriction. Lion's Eye Diamond, Underworld Breach, and Ad Nauseum are combo and storm cards are usually up to no good and create power and goal mismatches at more casual tables. Gaia's Cradle and Serra Sanctum, these lands provide a huge mana boost that can rapidly accelerate the game. Thassa's Oracle is the best in class way to win a game on the spot and used as a 2-card combo. Psych Rift is the best way to reset everybody else in Commander, and often not a very fun way. Expropriate, while it is expensive mana-wise, the combination of take a turn alongside 3 other permanents, provided none of them give you extra turns, is strong enough to end some games on the spot. Genji, or Jin-Kataxis Core Augur, a prime card to cheat or reanimate out. This Jin removes others' resources while ensuring you have endless in quite an unfun way. Fierce Guardianship and Force of Will, free counter spells are much debated. They are powerful and often protect your engine. Guardianship doesn't put you down a card to cast it. Force of Will can counter anything, including commanders, and works on your turn, which is awesome used to protect your combos. Force Negation was left alone, however, since it only counters non-creatures, only works on opponents' turns. The legendary creatures, and they also talk about Soul Ring, because the only reason why they're not doing it is because Soul Ring was handed down from Sheldon Menery himself and said, don't fuck with it, leave it alone, or that's nothing. You ain't gonna do it. The commanders that they highlighted, such as Kennen, Yuriko, Winota, Grand Arbiter, Augustine the Fifth, Tergrid, and Urza. We wanted to be very careful with the legendary creatures we hit, as it essentially knocks them out of brackets 1 and 2, Additionally, your commander is the one thing you know before playing the game, so it gives you an easy way to say, hey, I don't want to play against that commander. However, a lot of discussion, we felt like these 6 were almost never used fairly. Excuse me. When played as commanders, I've never seen the fun, enjoyable for everybody Grand Arbiter deck out in the wild. There might be one person out there who has it. And to that person, feel free to try and convince the table. As mentioned earlier, Rule 0 still very much applies. But generally, these commanders have a certain pedigree of appearance in that most players don't want to play against that, say, bracket 2. That doesn't apply to the rest of your deck as well. While these cards can be a lot better within your 99, we don't want an additional list distinguishing cards that are only game changers when used as commanders. But if you have any feedback on that, you can let us know. And they have advocated very heavily in messaging, being in their Discord and letting them know. They said they have plenty of channels. I feel like if you have a concern, a genuine concern, then you need to appropriately take the steps to send it through the right channels to let your voice be heard. Because why not? I mean, it can only help you. And I mean, it's rough. I mean, yeah, it's a change, but I mean, we're looking at maybe a better outcome than, it's not the same as what we're used to, but it's a little different. I mean, oh man, this is such a touchy topic because for me personally, and this is, this is my opinion, I would prefer to be able to play games with my decks that I have built for fun in fun environments. I've looked at my decks recently, before I, started looking at recording this, and some of them had one game changer in them. Donald has the Ristic Study, and that's it for right now. And if I take that out, it becomes a thematic deck and could be a bracket 1 and 2. Could be a strong 1 and 2. Could be a strong 2. Galta is a strong 2. Like, it's not the taking away that Ancient Tomb doesn't make it, so just weak, but it doesn't not make it powerful though. Because, getting Galta out as early is just horrible, especially if you have a full hand. So I say all that to say this: if you want to try this, just let your play groups know. Try to be respectful about people that do want to do it and don't want to do it. Be open to try new things. Look at your decks and say, I didn't feel like this one was a 4, so I'm gonna take it down to a 2, or take it down to a 3. And then, maybe now you have pieces for another deck to throw in and make a stronger deck. I know I'm about to have a couple good cards that are coming out of decks, changing up, looking for, more equal footing, as they say. But, I've kind of rambled on for long enough. What do you guys think about this new bracket system? I think it could be a good thing. It's up in the air right now. I think the game changers list could be adapted. I feel like they're missing a good couple cards, but that's nothing we can change right now. They'll probably update it coming April after they have, I think they said they had MagicCon Chicago coming up. I don't know, but that is going to be pretty much all you guys will get out of me for right now, because I'm just waiting to see what happens, just like you are. But other than that, I will see you guys next time on the radio.